Well, you've heard me say many times on our podcast and on Monday Mastery, the choices that you make are the world you live in. It's a great quote from Dr. Phil McGraw. I remember the first time I heard this quote was in the year 2000 when I was going through a training that he and his father developed here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And I heard that, and it landed with me, and it made sense to me. But over the last 18 years, I've really come to understand more of what that means. I'm not talking about you right now, I'm talking about somebody you know. But have you ever met someone who is frustrated with where they are in life? Have you ever met someone who maybe even complains about their current circumstance or the outcomes they continually seem to produce in their life? Have you ever met someone that gripes and fusses about how little money they have, or the kind of car they drive, or they don't like their job, or they don't like their church, or whatever the case may be, or they're miserable? They're just miserable. They're unhappy people. Well, here's a truth that's going to sting a little bit for that person, not for you, but for that person. The choices that you make are the world you live in. Here's another way of putting that. The cumulative result of the choices you make looks like the life you have right now. In other words, the life you're experiencing today, the money, the marriage, the relationship with your children, your work, your business, your career. I mean, I could go on and on in the various categories. How your life looks today in any of those areas is a direct result and perfectly proportionate to the choices you've made along the way. Your choices produced that result. You say, Brian, that's depressing. Well, it can be if you choose to stay there. So if, in fact, the choices you make are the world you live in, and given the premise that you don't like where you are today in a particular area, maybe you don't like where you live, you don't like the house you're in, you don't like the job you're on, you don't like, I don't know, whatever the case may be. Here's the cool thing about it, is that all you have to do to completely revolutionize and transform your life is to make new choices. In other words, 1 + 1 = 2. You take those two variables, put them together every time, you're going to get the same result. So here's the thing. If you continually are putting into the matrix of this equation the same behaviors, the same choices, the same outlets of doing life, you're going to keep getting the results you have right now. So if you really want a different life, stop complaining and do something. Make a choice that changes things up. Make a decision that moves you in a different direction, because you can begin to accumulate a collection of choices, new choices, different choices, that ultimately will move you into a different place in your life. I was speaking to someone not too long ago, and I'm not sure why this person called me. I really am not. I have my ideas, but the point is that they were complaining about they hate where they live. They realized they made bad choices before that landed them up in that place. They're unhappy with their job. They don't have any good relationships around them. I mean, they just went down this litany of things that all this, and I'm not sure what the person was wanting me to say. And I'm not saying this to be critical or to be ugly or to be discouraging to this person or to you, but here's the deal. The choices you make are the world you live in. And if you don't like the world you're living in, then you, my friend, have the power. You have the authority. You've been given a will, and you can actually change the life you're in. How do you do that? You just make good choices. Here's the deal. What if I don't know what to do, Brian? Okay. In the multitude of counsel, there's safety. Get some good people around you that you trust. Here's the key to that. They don't need to necessarily agree with you. They need to speak truth to you. All right? Get some people around you that can speak life into you and help you to make a choice that at least moves the ball down the field a yard. Listen, a yard, movement 1 yard on the football field is better than no movement at all. So I'm going to encourage you today. You want a different life? You want to grow yourself, you want to grow your leadership, your influence, you want to change the way you feel on the inside and from the inside out, different choices will produce different results. That I can guarantee you.